In this session, we are going to start the third part of our discussion, third part of the short story. It begins here, page 22. Now take the book into your hand. Now let's read the story and comment on it. Now the nightingale finds a red rose and she decides to offer her life for a red rose. That is the end of the second part of the short story. Now third part. So she spread her brown wings for a flight and soared into the air. Went, soared means flew into the air. Air means sky. She swept over the garden like a shadow. And like a shadow, she sailed through the grove. Grove means trees. Now the nightingale returns to the home oak tree, and the student is still there, crying, weeping. The nightingale returns to the home oak tree with a happy news. What is the happy news? That she has found a red rose for the boy. A red rose. The boy is still crying. He does not do anything. That is his weak point. The young student was still lying on the grass. Lying means something like sleeping, where she had left him. And tears were not yet dry in his beautiful eyes. Still, there are tears in the student's eyes. Now the nightingale tells the student about the red rose, the way she is going to make a red rose for him. She sings, nightingale sings that message to the student like this. Now these words are from the nightingale. Let's read them. Be happy, cried the nightingale. Be happy. My boy, be happy. Underline, you shall have your red rose. Underline, I will build it out of music by moonlight and stain it with my heart's blood. Underline. Now the nightingale explains to the young boy that she is going to make a red rose for him out of her blood, out of her music, in a moonlit night. She sings this message as a song to the young boy, young student, right? The sacrifice, unselfish sacrifice, selfless sacrifice. The nightingale is going to offer her life for someone else. Unimaginable, we cannot imagine. We human will never do it. Will you sacrifice your life for your friend? No, you will never sacrifice. මගේ පණ උනත් දෙනවා කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ. එනකොට පණ දෙන්න වෙච්ච තැනකදී නම් දෙයි බලන් ඉන්න. They are only words. They have no meaning. But the nightingale keeps to her word. Now she is determined to offer her life All that I ask of you in return, Nightingale mentions that, underline, you will be a true lover. This is what the Nightingale expects from the student. Now, my boy, only one thing I expect from you, please be a true lover. True lover. Don't change. Don't change like Popoa. Now you remember Popoa in the drama, the bear. Don't change like her. Be a true lover forever. Because love is wiser. Love is full of wisdom than philosophy. Philosophy is a subject. Even the subject is personified. Though she is wise, philosophy is wise, but love is greater than knowledge. That is the idea. Philosophy means knowledge. Love is greater than knowledge and mightier than power. Love is greater than king or queen. Power means here king or queen. Love is greater than king or queen. Though king or queen is mighty. Mighty means great. Flame-colored. Love has, now even love is personified here. Love has flame-colored, red color. Flame-colored means red-colored wings. Love has red-colored wings. And its body is like flame, red. Red is the color of love. Red rose, red sari, red flowers. All of them are associated with love, passion, lust of life. In literature, not in science. His lips are sweet. Lips of the lover are sweet as honey. You see the simile, as honey. His breath, breathing, is like frankincense. Frankincense means some sweet scents, sweet scent, frankincense. Now, in this way, the Nightingale explains to the young boy the nature of qualities of love, its beauty. Because she wants the young student to be a true lover. That is for, it is for that she sacrifices her life. But the student does not understand the Nightingale's message because he has not learned bird's language. He cannot decode or translate the Nightingale's sweet music into his own language. He does not understand anything. He knows many things from the books. He knows many things from the books, but he does not know anything from nature. Like you. You have all bookish knowledge, but you do not know anything about nature. You cannot identify a bird, an animal, by their voices, sounds, because you have no close relationship with nature. You do not know the names of plants and trees and flowers in nature. You do not know because your concern is in the book, bookish learning. We call it bookish learning. It is useless. That is the idea, one idea of this short story. Bookish learning is useless. Now the student has knowledge from books, but he does not know how to find a red rose, but the Nightingale knows how to find it, right? The student looked up. The student hears the Nightingale's voice. He looked up from the grass and listened. He listened to the voice, the music, but he could not understand, underline, what the nightingale was saying to him. The student fails, cannot understand Nightingale's message because, underline, he only knew things that are written down in books. That is the problem with the student. He does not understand anything from nature, any messages from nature, because he is not associated with nature, right? Now he fails this valuable message, this important message from nature, because he cannot sense, feel nature. But the oak tree understood, Nightingale's companion and felt sad. Oak tree is very sad because oak tree understands the nightingale will leave this world soon. For he was very fond of the little nightingale who had built her nest in the branches. Sing me, oak tree says, sing me one last song, he whispered. I shall feel very lonely when you are gone. Now oak tree is worried about the nightingale's decision. Nightingale, you will leave this world. When you leave this world, I'll be a lonely man, lonely person. Please sing me your last song, departing song. So the nightingale sang to the oak tree, and her voice was like water. You see the simile, like water. Nightingale's voice is like water, bubbling, boiling, or coming out from a silver jug. What is the idea? Nightingale's voice is so sweet, sweet like water coming out of a silver bucket or silver jug. When she had finished her song, the student got up, pulled a notebook like you. He took a notebook, exercise book, and a pencil out of his pocket. Now he writes down, he notes down the characteristics, qualities of the nightingale as he understands. Now, this paragraph depicts the young student's comments. Note it down. This paragraph depicts the young student's comments on the nightingale's character. Young students' comments on the nightingale's character. But these comments are partially true, not totally true. Partially. 50% true, 50% untrue. False. Right? Now let's discuss the young student's comment on the nightingale's character. Now he writes down in his notebook, she has form. Form means shape. Okay, it's correct. The nightingale has a shape. That comment is okay. He walked away through the grove. Grove means trees. Shade of the trees. That cannot be denied to her. Yes. Rejected. Denied. Say no. But has she got feelings? Now the student questions himself. Has the nightingale feelings? Then he has the answer. I am afraid not. No, I don't think she has feelings. This is wrong. This is wrong. This comment is wrong. Why? We know the nightingale has feelings. What feelings? Sympathy, empathy, love, sorrow, sadness, happiness. She has all those feelings. In fact, really, she's like most artists. She's like an artist, actors and actresses, artists. She's all style. She has beauty, style, shape and beauty without any sincerity, without any honesty. But this is wrong. Now humans have beauty, but they have no sincerity. It's okay. Some actors and actresses, they have their own beauty, but they are not honest. They are very cunning, cheating, deceitful. But the nightingale has style, beauty, but also she has sincerity, honesty. She is open-hearted. But we humans are not open-hearted. Our beauty is open to everyone, but our heart is not open to everyone. Therefore, this is also a false comment. Note it down. A comment එකත් වැරදි. She would not sacrifice herself for others. Another comment. This is also wrong. The student says, the nightingale will never sacrifice anything for others. Wrong. Why? The nightingale has already decided to sacrifice her life for the young student, for a red rose, right? She is unselfish. She thinks merely of music. No, nightingale, this is also wrong. Nightingale does not only think of music. She thinks of love. She thinks of other people. And everybody knows that arts are selfish. Like arts and artists, nightingale is also selfish character. The student notes down. No, wrong. This comment is also wrong. We know the nightingale is not selfish. She is unselfish. Still, it must be admitted, it must be accepted that she has some beautiful notes in her voice. That is true. Beautiful voice, notes means melody. She has some melody, beauty in her singing. That's correct. What a pity. Oh, it is that they do not mean anything. This is wrong or any practical good. Now the student says the nightingale's music has no meaning. The nightingale music has no any practical power. Practical good means practical power. This is wrong. Why? Because the nightingale is going to make a red rose with the help of music. Nightingale music has the power, practical power to make a red rose, right? Now, these are wrong assumptions, wrong opinions about Nightingale's character. And he went into his room and lay down on his little pallet bed. There is a small bed in his room. He slept there and began to think of his love, his girl. And after time, he fell asleep, right? That is the end of the part 3, right? Draw a line here. Draw a line here. Okay. Now we have to mention or write down the comment on this part. Please go on. Please go on. Part 3. Write down. The nightingale returns to the oak tree, returns to the oak tree to deliver, D-E-L-I-V-E-R, deliver to the student, deliver to the student the message of making a red rose, making a red rose. Full stop. The student is still. The student is still under the oak tree, still under the oak tree with tears, with tears in his eyes, with tears in his eyes. Full stop. The nightingale announces, A-double-N-O-U-N-C-E-S, announces this message to the young student in a song, in a song. Please, Scott. You shall have your red rose. I will build it out of music by moonlight and stain it with my own heart's blood. Go on writing. The nightingale sings her message, of creating a red rose, with the help of her music and blood. With the help of her music and blood. For this promise, the nightingale requests The nightingale requests the young student. The nightingale requests the young student to be a true lover. To be a true lover. As an honor, as an honor, HONOUR, as an honor for her sacrifice. As an honor for her sacrifice. Please quote. All that I ask of you in return is that you will be a true lover. All that I ask for you in return is that you will be a true lover. Right, next paragraph. Next para. She further explains to the young student that true love is the greatest thing. True love is the greatest thing in this world. In this world. Full stop. It is greater in wisdom and power. It is greater in wisdom and power than knowledge, education, and rulers, kings or queen, rulers, rulers. Rulers. Full stop. She further admires true lovers as the most beautiful person in the world. The most beautiful person in the world. the most beautiful person in the world. Unfortunately, the student fails, F-A-I-L-S, fails to understand the nightingales promise to him about the red rose. Full stop. He fails, next sentence, he fails because he has no knowledge and skills in understanding nature's messages full stop. He has only a bookish knowledge, B-O-O-K-I-S-H. B, P එහෙම දාගන්න එපා. Bookish knowledge without any practical life. Please caught. But he could not understand what the nightingale was saying to him, for he only knew the things that are written down in books. That are written down in books. That are written down in books. Right. New paragraph. Write down this topic, this heading. The young students comments on the nightingale's character. Write down the heading. The young students comments on the nightingale's character. We'll discuss this in the next session. We'll discuss this in the next session.